All right, I do realize that some people just tune in for only the SPTV quote unquote Scientology content. But if you give the other content a chance, I'd be very grateful. I know it may not be your jam, but please give it a chance. I know at this point Superman is a little polarizing, but again, please just give it a bit of a chance. All right, now let's move on. I will do a short thing on Marilyn and do a follow up, but I just want to note where she is. So the channel has gone through its ups and downs. I mean, last year, temporarily, Marilyn just took it away to get rid of an embarrassing video. But it's very strange. So her, I guess you want to call it Love Boat videos. Yeah, Tommy Scoville keeps changing the channel name. So now it's Love Boat. All right, whatever. It used to be the Lifeboat. Now it's Love Boat. Alrighty then. The channel is also kind of weird that it did gain a lot from attacking Scoville, but people forget that Marilyn lost a lot of people. She actually was far below 6,000 subscribers because of her Aronis connection. A lot of people were disillusioned with Aronis. And she broke through beyond 6,000 people a while back, but now she's back to 6,000 people. So what happened? Well, I guess the upcoming lawsuit with Brett is making some people nervous because she's confirming it may happen. It really is a real possibility. And she hasn't really provided good receipts to show that he's a liar and she's telling the truth. He is very scummy himself, so I'm not defending him, but he may actually have a legal case, good or bad. Now let's turn to Nora, the NORAD. And this is a tricky one because she brings up the difficult issue of abortion. And obviously, it's a very, very hot topic. So Nora's recalling when she was given a very strict warning that if she did join the Sea Org, she might not have children. Like there was an older policy in Scientology, right? Because nobody does any research. People think that Elron was anti-children, yada, yada, yada. But no, they made exceptions. So before, you could have a child in principle, but there was a price to pay. However, that older policy was overthrown in the mid-90s, so Nora had a choice, namely that, yeah, you can join, but pretty much you will not have a child. So do you still want to join? And she admits that this was very, very sad for her. And she stayed up all night, thought about it, was crying, but seriously contemplated it. And of course, we know the answer. She joined the Sea Org. And we should feel sorry for her. So I'm probably going to lose some few people on this one because I don't know. I mean, I have developed this reputation for just being harsh towards Nora out of irrational hatred. No, I'm just trying to piece together this timeline and her shifting story of victimization. And again, let me be very consistent. Marilyn does the same thing. Marilyn recalls now her bad times in the cult to excuse her behavior. So this is just a consistent dilemma that cult survivors will remember things a certain manner to prove a certain narrative. It just is what it is. That is what's going to happen. So you just have to bear that in mind. And obviously, I'm not a woman. Don't pretend to be one. So it's a pretty difficult decision. I'm just head scratching that people were feeling all this sympathy for Nora, right? So even though Nora is getting some very explicit warning signs, probably don't want to join this group, she still joins anyway. But we should feel sorry for her. So she's acknowledging before her eyes, policies are changing. They're changing for very questionable reasons, but she's still electing to join Scientology. But we should feel sorry for her. Am I missing something? Because this doesn't really add up. It just seems the opposite is true. Namely, if you knew there's all these disturbing policies, maybe don't join Scientology. But it's like, Snake, no, it's a tough, hard decision, but I'm going to join Scientology. Okay. For your future victimization, we should feel sorry for you. Well, no, I think the opposite. Obviously, if you're given warning, full scale warning, yeah, you're joining a fascist nutcase group. If you still join, there's something wrong with you. Or are you not adding 1 + 1 = 2? So this is Nora's dilemma that She's putting herself out as a cult expert, big brain intellectual. She knows what's happening, but she also simultaneously has to play act. I am so small and very naive. I was misled. I did not know what's happening. And I do know what's happening. They've told me now. That policy is gone. I may never have a child. Right. But you still made the decision to join, therefore you're purely a victim. No. No, that's not how that works. Like, you can believe that you made a terrible mistake. You can believe that. Sure, that is totally fine. That is legit. However, there is a limitation on sympathy, right? Obviously, sympathy should go more towards people who are genuinely victimized and like, I didn't know what was happening at all. I was totally fooled. So in that case, if you make a mistake, you could say, well, the person really didn't know. They were tricked or fooled. But here, Nora's given an explicit warning. Okay, if you go forward with this is a price you're going to pay. And she was like, okay, I'm okay with that. Right? It's like, wait, but they told you. They told you, yeah, this is pretty extreme fascist cult. Do you still want to join? And the answer is yes, I still want to join. Right. Now, of course, you should still blame primarily Miscavige and the Scientologists, right? They are prominently the evil people in this scenario, but not exactly innocent angel. So how does that work? I'm still a little puzzled. I mean, her victimization is real, but she's not a victim in like the Lisa McPherson case, right? Lisa McPherson did not know and did not want to be killed. That's totally different, right? Those are different cases of victimization. So I just feel it's always a little weird when Nora mixes the two up and tries to confuse people. Listen, I get it. She wants to make money. She wants power and influence, and she's going to give you a very skewed narrative. But I'm like, this timeline is not adding up. We just don't have a really solid biography with her. So it's always like she's revising the record upwards to make herself feel better and be better. But it's like, okay, yeah, but what really happened? And here she is giving another confession saying, oh, I knew, I knew. I was so fanatical. Right, but Nora, you're making yourself fanatical. It's not being forced upon you. That's not how it works. It's the other way around. I mean, you could grow up in a very conservative, reactionary household. That's not destiny. You could turn out pretty liberal, and vice versa. You can grow up in a very liberal household that become very reactionary. Again, it's not a biological genetic trait you can't shake off. You made a choice. You made a series of bad choices, but we keep getting this revisionism. Was it really a free choice? Did she really know? Yeah, she's saying she knew. Saying, but did she really, really know? The answer is yes, she really, really knew. No, I don't think she knew. It's just like, that's the way it is with the Nora fandom. Even when she full on confesses, I knew they were crazy. I knew the fascism, and I embraced it. Okay, that doesn't make you a good person. It does make you a victim, but it's not a victim on the same scale as other victims. I'm just saying. So, yeah, we'll follow the Nora trek wherever it goes, but I just always find it a little strange. The more and more she admits her guilt, her audience says, you are so innocent. And I'm like, okay, did we just hear the same thing? I think she's saying the complete opposite. That's what she wants you to think, that, yes, I am the victim here. Right, that's what she wants you to think. But is it true? I have some doubts there. I have some severe doubts.